Yeah. Well, yeah. So the environmental toxins, I mean, that's a big portion for anti-aging medicine. Of course, anti-aging medicine came from the professional athlete realm because these doctors started to try to optimize these already pre-optimized people, but they're not. Everyone had their own issues because none of us is perfect. So what can you tweak? And that's how the whole anti-aging discipline came about, is to tweak you guys.
So cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wish I had been tweaked back then. And like something interesting comes to mind, like when the public perception of doping in sports is so screwed up, because what we see is like, Lance Armstrong, he cheated, what a disgrace, he let down, but like the whole entire sport was dirty. So there really wasn't any cheating in the traditional sense. Like Tom Brady cheated when he deflated the footballs and gave them to his team and gave the other team. You know, that's cheating. That's like, are you serious? He got off easy for that. Even though I like the guy, but he cheated. Lance Armstrong was in a very, very dirty sport where every athlete on the starting line was doped off their ass with EPO and steroids and testosterone and everything they could take to get better. And so it was kind of like a level playing field in that sense. So I kind of look at the offense in a different light than most people. But here's the big one that I want to throw at people. Is like, if you're doing that crazy stuff to your body like I did for so long, it would arguably have been healthier for me to peg all my hormone levels to optimize through doping, because it was so destructive to the body to train at that level. So I would have gone a lot faster, and I would have been healthier and been less worse off for the wear today. I might even have 100% blonde hair instead of gray, because the whole entire experience would have been less stressful. Because you wake up the next day, if your red blood cells is pegged at 50, you wake up the next day and you say, what are we doing today? How hard are we going to train today? Because you're recovered. And now maybe we could like kind of transition to a closing where now we talk about, okay, if I can go on a regimen of stem cells, peptides, and hormone replacement, I can put myself at age 37 forever. And it's extremely compelling to think about that. Now we've been steered away for a long time, like with testosterone therapy, they're saying, it could increase the incidence of prostate cancer, which is the big killer. And it's not true. And, my father died with prostate cancer, not of prostate cancer, but he was taking anti-androgenic hormones for 11 years. And so that was killing him more than the cancer, because they're trying to shut down the cancer. This is proper medical treatment.
By depleting his life force.
Right. And right before he went, he had a great run at 97. So I'm not saying this anything with like a tragic note. I'm just saying like what we could all wish for was like 95 outstanding years and then a quick slide, that, nice departure. But right at the end, there was research coming from Johns Hopkins Medical School where he went, and they were like doing mega-dose testosterone on advanced prostate cancer patients and having tremendous results. And so what they're doing is like...
You mean positive results, making things...
Positive results. They're making these guys stronger by doping them with, strong male hormone so they could actually fight off the disease. So what about if we start, like Mark Sisson started in his 50s, Mark Bell started in his 30s. A lot of young guys are on TRT now, which is a little bit disturbing to me. But if you start and stay strong and fit, and six-pack like Sisson is showing off, and Mark Bell, jacked and tan on the cover of his book. He's a fitness freak. He's running the marathon now, as well as being a champion powerlifter. He's like, hell yeah, I'm on steroids. I have been for 20 years. I feel fantastic. His blood levels are good. Everything's checking off, and he's super fit. So that's where I'm like, all right. And like, I'm on a Power Project podcast. You can watch it on YouTube. It's a great show. And like in the first few minutes of the show, and there's 3 hosts and then me, and they're all big, jacked guys. And so like little Brad is there, and they're like, Brad, why aren't you on hormone replacement? And then like, and Seema's like, yeah, Brad, why aren't you on it? And I'm like, I don't know, So I think...
Well, was that a philosophical objection?
Yeah, it's funny. Like, as an athlete, I had this completely squeaky clean mentality. Like, I'm not going to put anything into my body ever. No caffeine, no Advil. If I have a stiff lower back, I want to feel every inch of that pain so I could make the proper decision the next day. And I had a long career. I was consistent. I think it helped me rather than taking this and taking that. Same with a person, anyone out there who's got a medicine cabinet full of pills. I will probably contend that I sleep better than you. I'm fitter, and I'm getting benefited by taking the hard way rather than the easy way.
Yeah.
Then it's like, is it okay to age gracefully and slow down? And, I've heard this argument too, like, what do you do with, or telling myself, Brad, what are you doing out there running around the track? That's what I did in high school, college, but I love it and I want to perform. And so I'm wide open to anything that's going to work. I've gone to Uplift Longevity Center and tried the peptide courses. And I'm like wanting to learn more about like, how can I recover faster and perform better? Because this is the essence of aging gracefully. And we don't have to settle for the traditional notion of slowing down and shuffling along and visiting grandpa in the nursing home and all that crap. And I'm going to do everything.
That's the whole philosophy of anti-aging medicine is how can we replenish you to the most useful state? Not over-replenish,
Right.
but replenish you just at your peak level.
Or over-replenished if you're a celebrity or something.
And then so you can function at that peak level for a very, very long time. Physiologically, if that's the level you're functioning, then you're preventing yourself from getting into all kinds of disease states. Right. So that's the whole anti-aging. It's the quality of staying at a more useful state. If you have other ways of getting there, great.
Yeah.
But are you able to address all of those factors? Could a little testosterone extra, have helped you? That's a question. When you were younger, like when you were in your 20s,
Yeah.
what if you did a little testosterone?
Also, I have the race report, the race result in my file. But if I had taken EPO,
Yeah.
it delivers a confirmed 6% advantage. Some people think 10%. Yeah. So if I had a 6% advantage in my performance, I would have won every single race. I could have showered, had an oatmeal, and come back and congratulate in second place.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a ridiculous
Wow.
performance advantage. So when you see the Tour de France, all these guys climbing up the mountain really fast, they're all on EPO.
Yeah.
And Lance Armstrong was winning. And guess what? If it was all cleaned up and no one took drugs, he would have been further ahead because he was the greatest natural talented athlete. He was a professional triathlete at 15. That's when I met him and started racing this young kid who was at the high level on the world level as a teenager. There was no athlete like him and trained as hard and was as competitive and disciplined and focused and all that great Lance stuff. And then everyone's doping like him. It's like going into the gym and you see all these jacked guys. If you took the drugs away, one of those guys would look like that. And the rest of them would be skinny freaks or they'd have a spare tire, whatever. And so it's kind of like, that's all